Just William Aila.
Hello, Haunani and fellow trustees. This is one of the few times that I actually disagree with Mililani. And we've had conversations on email and in person. So with regards to, I have been involved in this process prior to the federal government ever picking it up. I was one of a group of people who went to the state of Hawaii to try to get the state to create a reserve around the Northwestern Hawaiian Islands prior to President Clinton declaring it a reserve. So with regards to the Western Pacific Fisheries Management Council's estimates of what it's worth, I don't have a lot of confidence in their predictors, because these are folks who have mismanaged the lobster fishery in the Northwestern Hawaiian Islands for more than 20 years. I just returned from a trip to Nihoa Mokumanamana, spending a night at Mokumanamana with about 1 million seabirds, and actually diving around La Perouse's pinnacle in French frigate shoals. The entire time I was there, I saw one lobster. So I don't give a lot of credence to the Western Pacific Fisheries Management Council. The mismanagement of the fisheries has overflowed into other species such as the Hawaiian monk seal. Numbers in the Northwestern Hawaiian Islands continuing to decline. So there's definitely some competition going on there. And it's, in my opinion, having been a part of Westpac for about 15 years, directly attributed to the mismanagement of their kuleana when they had it. With regards to how the monument and Westpac fits together in terms of the Magnuson-Stevens Act, under the sanctuary rules, and the attorneys have gotten together with all of the federal agencies, and in creating the management plan, have come to an understanding that the sanctuary plan will rule, and the Western Pacific Fisheries Management Council has the ability to make recommendations in a marine sanctuary or the mine. However, the final authority on whether to accept or to amend or to change those rules rests with NOAA's National Marine Sanctuary Office. That's the final guiding principle. You know, I had the opportunity, the privilege actually, of meeting with many times these four gentlemen that continue to guide me in my decision-making process with regards to Papahanaumokuakea. Uncle Walter Paulo, who's no longer with us from Miloli'i. Uncle Eddie Ka'anana, Uncle Kavika Kapalehua, and Uncle Buzzy Agard. Uncle Buzzy Agard is the only one that still remains today with us. Uncle Buzzy has fished up there for more than 20 years. Uncle Buzzy knows in his heart, and he's shared it many a time, that is a very small and very fixed resource, and you can go in there and you can catch the standing stock real quickly and knock it down to nothing. With regards to the spiny lobster fishery, I've seen that for myself. There's no spiny lobster in the 3 island waters that I swam in for many days. With regards to the small N versus the big N, I can assure you that there were many small N people at the table and big N people at the table with regards to the Native Hawaiian Working Group. And we never saw it as a ceded lands issue. And I'm sorry if that doesn't fly with what you're saying, Mililani, but we saw it.
No, that's consistent. That's consistent.
We saw it as a
let's
resource.
keep the conversation this way, please.
No, they never saw it as a ceded land issue. That's true.
We saw it
as
a resource issue. Having been there, I can tell you that there is something about Papahanaumokuakea that you cannot measure. There are so strong, intangible, undescribable, from an intellectual, spiritual is a great word, but it goes even beyond that. You know, these are truly the ancestor islands that we sit upon. With regards to the name, the Native Hawaiian Working Group did consider all names that were submitted, including the ones that were written in that letter that Kaloi had. I guess you folks have copies of. We also took into consideration names submitted by Auntie Isabella Abbott and other people. However, and it wasn't a quick decision. We took many, many months before putting forth the final recommendation of Papahanaumokuakea, which is in the ancient chants that talk about that area. So we didn't come up with a name that out of the blue. This was a name that was in several of the chants that talked about the area from ancient times. If I could get about 5 more minutes, I just Lily Kala could not be here because she's attending to her mom, and she asked me to read a brief statement. She says, I send this statement to you because I need to take my 90-year-old mother to the doctor for an emergency. Previously, I've been asked to send you my thoughts on Papahanaumokuakea National Monument, so here they are. Having spent the night in access and ceremony on Nihoa, and having observed the access of Moku Mana Mana, I feel as though I have a duty to protect these ancient islands, and all of the others proceeding northward from them for the descendants for all time. The ancestors teach us through cosmogenic genealogy, kumulipo, that all of those reef creatures, fish and birds and sea mammals and rocks, all of those plants and even the rats and bugs are ancestors of the Hawaiian people. As such, it is our duty as descendants to ma'alama the ancestors. How do we do that? I think that limiting access to the area to man, native and non-native, except for very special purposes, like study purposes, is the only way to protect it. How do we as Native Hawaiians, as colonized people, no longer in control of our own land base, protect these areas? We have a deal with the devil, George Bush, and we must make the area into a reserve. How else? The reason I've supported the same area nomination as a World Heritage Site is because I hope that such a designation would make it harder to conduct military exercises in the area, which the military still can do, even though it is a national monument. However, while World Heritage has no power over the host country, UNESCO can ask embarrassing questions, which we should use to our advantage with the U.S. government. Does all of this stop the new Hawaiian nation from claiming and protecting the Northwestern Hawaiian Islands? I don't think so. India was ruled by the British for 350 years and then gained their independence. If independence is what Hawaiians really want, then it will happen, and we will have to regain control over Papahanaumokuakea. In the meantime, we should afford it the most protection that we can. It's rather long, so I'm going to... Later, after looking at the archaeology of Nihoa and at Site 50 where Kaumaka Iwa had chosen for us to pule, I discovered that one wall of the heiau was 0 degrees north. We have discovered that the heiau, or temples, with one wall at 0 degrees north was used to measure the movements of the sun through the solstice and equinox. Our ancestors built that heiau platform in an exact manner for their own reasons. Thank goodness the island wasn't open to whomever had access, because if someone wanted to go there and move stuff around, like this very important wall, it could have been done. At Moku Mana Mana, there are 33 heiau on 42 acres of land, on an island that is so desolate that humans cannot live there. There is no water or place to plant for food, or place for shelter. We must study these structures to understand them before they are destroyed by man or the elements, as it is several historical idiots who took the stone carved ki'i from the heiau without marking exactly where they were. Lessons lost to us as the ki'i were teaching markers put there by our ancestors. Why should we allow others with no cultural background to climb to the top of the island to move things around? Having been there, it's very there's almost no place that you can walk without being on a heiau or a cultural site. So you have to be very, very careful, in addition to the thousands of birds and the eggs and the baby birds. Finally, Papahanaumoku is not an ancient name that Puakanaheli stole. It is a new one made from old ones. Papahanaumoku is a long poetic name for Papa, who gives birth to the islands, our mythological earth mother. Akea or Wakea is the constellation Orion, who is also our mythical sky father. Pua unified the names to indicate the genealogical ancestors of those islands and the genealogy of the creatures who live there in their relationships to us, Native Hawaiians who are their descendants. It is the mana of her genealogy that has allowed her to do so. I hope that these brief comments will help you in your deliberations, and I hope that you will support the nomination of Papahanaumokuakea as a World Heritage Site on the grounds that it has unique cultural value important to all Native Hawaiians to preserve for all times.
Okay, thank you.